This video is all about the Grenadines, why we have chosen to sail there, if it is really hurricane safe, and obviously all the amazing places you have to visit when you sail to the Grenadines. It is the beginning of May, which means hurricane season is around the corner here in the Caribbean. Soon anchors will be lifted throughout the lesser and the bigger Antilles, and sailors will start to the north or to the south to bring their beloved sailboats into more secure waters. It really feels like a pilgrimage. Everybody's just moving around. It's a pretty crazy time here in the Caribbean. This year, we will be choosing the northern route. We will be sailing along the east coast. So if you're somewhere in the region, let us know. We would love to meet up. But in the last 2 years, we actually have chosen, like so many other sailors, the southern route. In the south, we actually have two different regions that you can choose to sail to. One region are the ABC Islands, which we chose 2 years ago. Really beautiful island, but it's really tricky to come back to the lesser Antilles if you still want to sail around here in the Caribbean. On the other hand, everything which is below St. Vincent here in the lesser Antilles is kind of regarded as safe from hurricanes. We will discuss at the end of this episode what it really means, hurricane safe, because there's actually not really any guarantee at the moment, especially with all the climate changes or whatever you want to call it happening right now. South of St. Vincent, you can find Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, which is very much beloved by all those who want to do some boat works during hurricane season, and you can find the Grenadines, which we have chosen. This video is all about the Grenadines, why we have chosen to sail there, if it is really hurricane safe, and obviously all the amazing places you have to visit when you sail to the Grenadines.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way.
Arriving to the Grenadines is actually pretty simple. You can island hop along the lesser Antilles or just sail straight to the Grenadines. We have decided to skip on St. Vincent because we have heard some mixed experience about the island. There seems to be a pretty high crime rate at the moment, especially for sailors. Dinghies have been stolen or people have been boarded. So even if the stay is really beautiful, we decided to not go there and to avoid some troubles. If you skip St. Vincent, you should sail to Bequia, where you have the possibility to check in. We're not going to touch on all the check-in procedures because they constantly change, but I will put you the link to Noonsite in the description. Noonsite is a very helpful site, which we personally also use. Whenever we have to check in somewhere, they always try to keep their information up to date. Bequia is a cute little town which is very much loved by sailors because it has this very huge bay where you are pretty much safe from most winds, and you can actually do provisions, which is very tricky in the Grenadines. So if you decide to stay for a longer period in the Grenadines, we do recommend to do some bigger provisions in the French islands if you come from that side or from wherever island you're coming in, because it can be very tricky and very expensive to do provisions in the Grenadines. We actually spent all 3 weeks here in Bequia at the end of the hurricane season because we had a lot of work to focus on, and it was great to have a nice spot where we could be secure with a boat, find provisions, and go over to Jack's Bar whenever we craved a margarita, which we definitely did drink too much in those weeks. Besides margaritas, the huge bay also offers a really nice promenade, so you can go for nice little hikes around the island. And they have a very nice coral reef in front of the bay, where there should also be a shipwreck, if I don't remember wrongly. You just have to take care because the currents can be really strong.
Du bist ja spinnst du! Aber ab und zu wird es stärker, oder?
You can do it. Come on, do it.
It is so strong that I cannot flop my legs. Yo, my unit.
Two more push.
Like the fins are driven away from the current. They're like totally useless. When I laugh, then I don't have strength. Wait. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Besides Bequia, we sailed to another 8 islands in the Grenadines. All of them are really unique in their own way, so it's really hard to say which ones we love the most. So instead of making a list of which islands we should see, we decided to give out some awards, like the most beautiful diving spots. Which is obviously a no-brainer. If you ever heard about the Grenadines, you probably have heard about Tobago Cays. It's just a diver's, or better said, snorkel's paradise, because it's very shallow. You have this huge reef, which is at about 1 or 2 meters of depth, so everybody can go there and just observe the beauty of nature. There is just everything around. We saw stingrays, we saw sharks, we saw turtles. Actually, a lot of turtles. When you throw anchor, which you can if you don't want to take the mooring buoy, you really have to pay attention to not hit any turtles because there are so many around. It is a national park, so be aware that you have to pay when you go there. I don't exactly remember the fees. They are changing also for every year. So we put the link in the description for the national park. You can choose the mooring boat if you want. It's an extra cost, or you can throw your own anchor. We decided to throw an anchor in general. We trust and love our anchor, so we always choose that option if there is one. Next up, we have the most secluded beach. And at the same time, probably also the most Instagrammable spot, because let's be honest, how beautiful is this island? It's called Mopion Island. It's actually more like a blob of sand on a coral reef. It is truly beautiful. You can anchor in front of it if you want to go and visit it. In calm waters, it's not really the safest spot because there is nothing really that can protect you, and there is a lot of coral reef around. But you can take your dinghy on shore during low tide, because actually during high tide there is not much left of it. This was a close one because Jack's Beach Bar in Bequia has really a place in our hearts. But on the other side, if we think about a true Caribbean feeling, we have to say that a spot on the Union Island gives you everything you've ever imagined of a Caribbean beach bar. We are obviously talking about Sunset Cove in Chatham Bay. It's very much renowned in the cruising community. Everybody who is there never goes there. I think on Sundays they have this huge bonfire, which is really nice. A lot of people from around the island come, and obviously every cruiser which is close by, and you get to meet the local cruising community. Union Island is also a great stop if you're looking for some provisions. On the other side of the island in Clifton, there is a nice little town where you find a local market and also a nice little supermarket where you can find most of the things that you might be looking for. Most picturesque beach goes to Salt Whistle Bay. This place is so much overrun during high season, at least we heard so. In the hurricane season, there is not many people around, luckily, so we had the place pretty much to our own. It's just a stunning place. If you ever thought about a postcard from the Caribbean, it's pretty much this beach. Unfortunately, there is this old structures of an old hotel, which is not used anymore, but it's very beautiful nonetheless. It's actually also a very good spot to sit out a storm. We have been there for over 7 days, while one of the bigger tropical storms, we had about 15 knots, actually blew through the Grenadines at this time. We stayed there and had actually not really any problems. Sure, a lot of rain, a lot of wind, but we had almost no swell, and it was a pretty nice spot to stay also during a storm. Most underrated island definitely goes to Turtle Island. This island is pretty small and nobody really goes there because you have to sail against the wind, which most people don't like, or you actually have to motor because, you know, it's literally east of Bequia, so you have to go straight against the wind. It's also tricky because there's only one bay where you can actually anchor, and this bay sometimes is rolling. We've been very lucky. We stayed there for probably a week, 5 to 6 days. And yes, sure, it was not the most comfortable anchorage, but it was also not bad. The island is beautiful. I think there's nobody really on it, at least we did not see anyone. It has 2 beautiful coral reefs on which you can dive, and the island is literally overrun with these cute little land turtles, which we just had the most fun to observe during our days when we went for walks after work. For some reason, this place felt really magical to us, and we can just very highly recommend to stop there. Before we finish this episode, let's talk about the hurricane risk of the Grenadines. If the last years have shown us anything, is that hurricanes have become more and more unpredictable, so it is really difficult to say how safe a place is. Last year, for example, there was a huge hurricane in the ABC Islands, which seemed for very long the foolproof option to go to if you wanted to be safe from hurricanes. Unfortunately, last year they got hit really bad. In general, the Grenadines have a very low probability to be hit by a hurricane. If you want to know more about it, we have included some statistics and also some links in our blog post. So if you want to know more, we have a blog post on our website where we talk more about the Grenadines, how it is to sail there, where to go, some routes, you know, if you want to stay for a week, for 2 weeks, if you stay all 3 months, and also some statistics about the hurricanes. If you're interested, the link is in the description. I hope you liked this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and stay salty.